Up, I'm live, and it's officially my 5-year affiliate anniversary, even though Twitch has been putting the damn celebrate pop-up in chat since yesterday. They insist on making it a thing for 48 hours. There's the message that it prompts you to send. Thank you, Geeson. Yeah, that prompt is there for like 48 hours starting the day before you have the thing set. I don't know why. Also, both Geeson and Dingle have pressed buttons at this point. Good job. Those watch streaks up. Get your extra channel points or whatever the fuck those do. Because they're kind of pointless otherwise, not gonna lie. But yeah, no, it's been 5 years. How the fuck has it been 5 years? Like, I swear, I was in my mid-20s not too long ago, and now suddenly I'm sitting here gonna be turning 31 in a couple of months, and I've been an affiliate for 5 years? Time's fucked. Time is just fucked. Anyway, shall we get to doing train stuffs? Because I'm not doing Pokemon tonight. I want to do more train stuffs. I ended off the last stream at Goods Factory, having just bought a lot of modifications after a couple of hours of doing so, honestly, but a bunch of modifications for my train. I want to do it. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it, Dingle? Isn't it? Yeah. I just found a nice long one hiding the other day. Pulled my hair back because it's long enough. I pulled it back and hold on a second. That fucker had been growing for a long time. Yeah, getting old. It's wonderful. And I'm not even old. That's the best part. Thank you, Callie. Replacing the emote with a more appropriate one in some ways, but fuck off, Geeson. I've officially launched Derail Valley, so we're gonna be here for another minute before anything happens. Yeah, I want to get to customizing my train, and then we can talk about hauling stuff. Or just drove by, like, the throttle was picking up every second or so, but it was, you know, picking up and then dropping back. Picking up and drop. What? You were never prompted it, Kelly? Nice. Good job, Twitch. Seriously, like, what sort of automatic was that person driving or whatever that was doing that? The hell? Oh well. Yoink, boop, and push. They had to get that picked up and refurbished at some point, but I want to find the fucking DE6. That's what I want. I want the DE6, but I can't find the damn thing. The one train that I really want. I mean, I was lucky that the DH4 was just chilling down in the harbor, but long term, DE6 is the goal, and it's just nowhere to be found. Granted, there are still 2 places I haven't checked, as well as plenty of trackside spots that I'm sure I've not checked either. But also, I'm going to take these down and put them over here. Because it occurred to me that because I placed them instead of putting them down, they're probably going to stay right there, and that's not what I want. So, okay, what are we doing here? A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is what we're doing. I think I might as well take that, want that. Those two I'm not sure, well, this one is completely useless in a DH4. An amp limiter. There's no electric motors in a DH4. I mean, possibly Cali in some ways. Take that, take that. I guess I'll take that and that. I'll take the speedometer, definitely. Inventory is getting full. Also take these two, and I'll explain why in a little bit. That's going to require this and this. I'm not sure I'll have the small brackets that I'll need. Leave that there because I don't know that I need. I'll take it. But I'm running out of inventory space very quickly, considering I'll need this, this. Couldn't need that. And, gonna want one of them. Probably want these two, and then it's just a matter of picking up everything that I can, which is basically that. Okay. The train is over here, and it is nighttime currently, which is less than optimal. But got that, so that's fine. Let's just start putting things down. Maybe Dingle, I don't know. Put you off to the side, honestly. Things vaguely where they're gonna be near. Anti-wheel slit here, you just go over there. Sure. Light bars can go on the ground because they're going up there. Good enough. Put this shit down. And I'm definitely gonna need more solder. Yeah, I mean, Dingle, the thing is, right? This is my train, so I can customize it as I like, and since I'm probably going to be using it for a while, since I can't find the bloody DE6, and I can't really afford to do much with it, although 320,000 is not a bad amount. More than I thought I had, honestly. So despite buying all this stuff last time, I still made off with like 20,000 more than I had. 20,000, or was it actually closer to 100,000? I think I was around 270, 280. Anyway, point is, this train ain't going anywhere that soon, so I might as well get it set up, you know? Stack all the shit on it. Also, that's not needed, because that's there. Okay, let's do the lighting first, I guess. So I got this idea from someone else, but it's not as though I didn't entirely think to, or I wouldn't think to do this. It was just, oh yeah, that's something you can do. Because I've seen plenty of people, you know, do this just in general, but you remember I bought the red lights, and that's because red lights, if you don't know, are actually really good for nighttime. Is that in a good position? Yeah, I know it needs to be secured, but it seems happy. How is my caps lock desync such that it's now on? There we go. Those were for the underglow. No, that's going to be at a time when I have more money. Oh boy, that's loud. I have my volume turned down at the moment, but I can still see that's peaking around minus 15 dB on OBS. Okay. Also, I'm all the way down here, and I'm still able to reach, you know. Yeah, it's definitely a bit quieter down here, though, so I'll keep crouched. Alright, so now, believe it or not, those are all screwed in. Because, you know. Thanks, Storm. They're all screwed in because I just drilled the holes. And so I can just hear them up there, and now they're up there. Thank you very much for the resub, Storm. Thank you for choosing to use your Prime here yet again. Very much appreciated. Right. You. Yeah, it uses an entire spool of solder to wire these things in. Fun fact. I need more of those, but I already knew that. But yeah, now I have red lighting, although it's kind of just always on unless I turn the electrics off. And it's rather bright. But supposedly, just like real life, you can actually get away with having the red lighting, which should be a bit less harsh for viewing outside at nighttime. Versus, you know, that. Although, again, it's a bit bright at the moment. But that's the idea behind them. And no, that's not wired up to that. Flick that back on, and then let's get it properly wired in. Because if you remember, I have this. Not able to do the resub message yet? Really, Callie? Twitch, please. Yeah, I think your sub goes through on the 24th, doesn't it? Which is kind of weird when you think about it, but... Requires a mount, though. It's kind of weird because I didn't have a sub button until the 26th, but regardless. Yeah, that's annoying. Twitch! Fix your shit. I'm putting this here because loud drill noises. Because that puts it right beneath the light switch, right? So I'll know that's the light switch in case I decide to add any other lights, which I very well might. Yeah, probably, Callie. Can we do something else Saturday? If you're asking for Among Us, probably not. You need to bring it up with the others. Thank you, Kiosk. What's up? I believe then what I do here is I do that, and that, and that, and that, and now I don't need to turn everything off, but I can just slowly not have light because I didn't solder it in. You know, so now I turn this off, and I can just slowly bring the lighting in. So at nighttime, I can just keep a subtle bit of lighting on if I want. Or, you know, I can just turn it off. Or I can go full blast with it. Something else, not something specific. But it's 3D now? I'm sorry, what's 3D, Kiosk? I honestly don't know what you're referring to. Even though I probably should. Yeah, I mean, Dingle, again, bring it up with people on Friday night and see what they say. Because while a lot of people might only be there Friday, you know, the core group will still be there. Oh, Mogus VR we don't talk about. I don't know. I don't know why, just, you know, that requires VR, right? So, no need to talk about it more than anything. Well, it's also its own game, isn't it? So there's that. If we wanted to do Mogus in 3D, we could just play TTT. Yeah, that's always an option. Yeah, Kiosk, no, I'm pretty sure Among Us VR is a VR specific game. Unlike this, which is a VR game, but it's not VR exclusive. Yeah, I played it a fair amount as well myself. Good times. Where is it? There it is. So if I put this here, the only problem is getting things positioned right where you want them. Nope. One benefit to VR in this. There we go. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get much better than that. Those OG TTG videos. Oh god, don't go back and watch them. They're so old. Is there only one? No, there is two. So let me have the other one. There we go. I believe this is the speedometer. That's a digital clock, and I know that one's the brake because it's got that light on it. So that'll be good. However, I'm now out of solder, so I gotta go back and get more. You. So I'm planning to be, like, right here. So I can see the temperature here, and I can see this as well. So why do I need the speedometer on top of the speedometer, right? This is a digital readout. Right? I literally don't even have to look at this directly to see exactly what my speed is, versus this, I have to look down here and, okay, where's the needle, you know? This is just there. That. And that also, like, I have one of those in real life for my car. Again, I have a physical speedometer, but I also have a digital speedometer that's just outside of my regular field of vision. Not my field of vision, but like my primary view, you know? It's on the outer edge at the edge of the windshield. I can read a dial just fine, yes, but again, I said this on Monday. I drove my father's 2008 Honda Civic Si for a number of years, and that had only a digital speedometer. And instead of being down here in the regular gauge cluster, it was up here in a secondary cluster, right in the center. And you know how nice it was having a nice big digital readout, like right here when you're looking out here? I missed having that so much that I actually got a digital readout for my own car, the one that's sitting outside right now. Even though it has a regular analog one. It's just such a nice thing to have. Yeah, shut the fuck up. You're a month younger than me. Fuck you. Yeah, exactly. Fuck you. We need to get ARPO and S2K. AP1, please. I'll take 9 grand over the extra horsepower, thanks. There we go. Yes, I would love to have an S2. I don't know if this works for the documents, but I'm gonna do this anyway. Well, they're roughly in the area of the trash can. Because I don't have them anymore. 700 horsepower S2K? I'd rather just have a stock one, thanks. Also, like I have the money for that in the first place. That's the other issue. Just grab all of that. And I'm just going to stick these up out of the way. The infrared thermometer is not a bad shout. Because, you know, brake temps. But, eh. It probably wouldn't, Callie. Also, again, I don't want anything with that much power no matter what. Where do I want to put this? I could put it up here, I guess. I would have to, like, look up, but that's fine. I can't get in a position where it will let me put down. Even just to get an idea. Well. Yeah, that's not gonna work. OG prop hunt. Yeah, also. Also a fun time. What's the tube there? This? That answer your question? I assume you're referring to that, and also you'd be surprised with how big wiper motors can be. But yeah, there's one in every corner. Also, keep in mind, this is a train that's not very new. I, like, put it right here. Well, Callie, the distance tracker tells me when I can go faster, because it will allow me to track where the back end of my train is, so I know when I'm out of the slow zones and thus can go faster. I mean, that isn't so useful. This allows me to basically say screw it and let the thing manage itself in regards to going faster. And this helps me go faster when there's not enough grip by just making it so it grips. And yeah, flame stickers, maybe someday. I feel like right there would probably be good. Put all these out here because I know I'll need them. I mean, yes, but by making it easier to drive, I can thus go faster more regularly. So it indirectly makes me go faster. Something like right there. Would that work? Hard to see. I think that's what I want. I think. Well, look, Callie, the way that I do go faster in the end is to get a DE6. However, license expensive, demo unit unknown, location unknown. Aww. Damn. I wanted to see how far I could get away from it. Yeah, the main issue is I don't know where the DE6 demo unit is. And I don't really want to buy the license until I know where it is. Okay, that is correct. $300K to restore, not including the license. Which is another 200,000. But I can at least, if I find it, so long as I have 200,000 in the bank, I can get the license, pick it up, and drag it back to the harbor. Yeah, words. I can't find it. I don't know where it is. So yeah, that's alerting me because of this. And then... Yep. I assume it works the same for that? Yep. Main reservoir is still pretty full. Gonna set that back on. It's gonna flash, but that's fine. Just go find it then? Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted, honestly. Okay. Now, do I need a small or a medium mount plate for this? That's the real question. Like, if I put this roughly there. Hello? It's not gonna let me do that. Okay. Up the other angled bracket. I mount that, like, right there. Well, that, I think, would be it. Need the wider mount. Yeah, okay, that would make sense. I need a couple of things anyway. Not the large plate. That's a long strip. Smalls. Slanted. Feel like that's not it. Mount strip medium? Would a strip one work, Dingle? It should work, right? It says gadgets, not just lights. What's the shovel for? Steam engines. The manual should tell me. Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't think that that's under activities, but okay. Why is it gold? Because it's better. Oh boy. What does this have to say about this? Not much. Okay. Cosmetic gadgets are just like lights and... Oh, maybe? Yeah. Lights and such. Okay. That's under tools? Okay. Well, it's only 100, so... It's ridiculous economy. Taking that. Let's see, if I then place this here. Say right there. I'm guessing I have it. Yes. There you go. I mean, I'm not going to get much better than that, short of like... I have a silly idea. I have a silly idea. I don't know if that will work. That's not... I want to see if it'll work. What if I did that? Should I then be sat down here and have this? No. I need the bigger mount if it's a slanted one. Alright, fair enough. Sure. Are there any large or medium slanted mounts? Oh, that is the medium. Need wide slanted mount. But nothing really here of use. Oh well. If I put it right there, can I then do this? Like, it's an interference fit in a sense, but like, it does fit, does it not? Alright, this is why I brought the duct tape. Because I can just duct tape it. Okay, not enough space. I wasn't happy with that. If I just move it over slightly. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's fine. Still like to get it placed a little bit lower. That might work. Time for the noisy hand drill. Just phase through the door a little bit there. Don't mind that. Keep forgetting that I'm keeping it on my person. Yay! So now I'm standing here. Sitting here, however you want to say it. And then I can just set my distance as need be and play and stop and yeah. Yeah, I know, right, Dingle? Sure don't seem to care about keeping the interior of this car in good condition, this train, but eh. Flip the fan on. Not that that does anything. The clock. Clock is not critical information, so I feel like it could just go there. It's a nice to have, not a need to have. Honestly, seems kind of overkill having that large of a mount for this small of a thing. Oh, it started raining. Get a few sticky tapes. I should. It can be useful. Roll good reels. Yeah, now I just have a digital readout. Can I make that dimmer or anything? Does this have non-functional buttons? Okay, that's fine. So these two things, I believe, are just set it and forget it. no actual controls on this one. This one does have a control, but again, set it and forget it. This one actually has some use, so having it nearby would be good. Do I want the switch setter to be like right here? Don't need to access this cabinet after all. Do I want it up here? No, it fits better down here. Like right there work? Not enough space. If I like put it right up against there. Kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I guess that'll do. Again, get away from it. Since it's kinda loud, and the further away I stand, the quieter it is for you guys. Also, it's looking like at this rate I'm not going to get any train driving done until next hour of the stream. Orientation. Relative or absolute? I don't know. Crank the distance up. I'm not sure on the differences there. The next switch in absolute orientation or relative to the direction of travel. Relative, which is that setting, yes. Don't know why I would want it absolute. That's why. Does it only work when the train's powered on? I would think that that should be working. Yeah, it's connected. The light's green on the side. It's green for everything that works. I would think that it should be doing something, but that's... I don't know. Where do I want this? Probably like right here. Not in that orientation. However, I think I'm out of those mounts. I do have the medium one, I guess. Slanted. Is slanted gonna be good? I don't know. Let's find out. Medium kinda seems overkill, honestly. Eh, that should work, though. Looks good enough to me. Really? There's that much slope here. And there's these two. Seems like good enough spot to me. Way to medium work. Yeah. Seems good enough to me. As long as it connects and works. Also, the clinometer, I just about pronounced that semi-correctly. I guess that doesn't need a connection. Yeah, it's not lighting up or anything. Versus if I get this out now, you can see it's a red light. No light. Green light. I can put that back in there for the time being. I also think I can take this back in there. Yeah, honestly, that seems like a half-decent spot for you, but I don't know... Yeah, you'll fit there. That's a big one, so I'll just use one of these. My caps lock has become desynced again. And by that, I mean that my caps lock should only be enabled on this screen, but it was getting enabled here. Okay. Pull out the drill. Just stand on the other side of the train and make sure that it's well secured. I could just use the tape, but the tape isn't permanently secured versus like this it is. I mean, semi-permanent. Nothing I do short of using the hammer will knock any of these off, in theory. And now that's just good to go. Yeah, there we go. I think that's more or less it. Connected as well, which is good. I'll need to figure out the length of my train before actually using it, but minor thing. It only took me like 8 or 9 hours in game. Most of an hour IRL. Not that long. Yeah, you can just have all of that. I think I should be good to put these away for the time being. That rotated on me. Damn it. There we go. Hammer down there. Duct tape and solder can go up here, I guess. Haphazardly, apparently. And that's it, I do believe. I did only really get enough stuff for what I was going to install. For the most part, obviously, I got some extra switches. You see that one on the upper dial there? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Yeah, that right there, it's still doing it. Okay. Oh yeah, my licenses are all just down there and in there, and there's probably a couple beneath the thing there, based on the fact that that was clipping. Anyway, where are we going? City West, Harbor in Town, Farm, Sawmill, or Steel Mill. I mean, not the most profitable trip, but I guess Harbor in Town makes sense. File box doesn't hold them neatly, so not worth getting. Got it. Honestly, I don't mind returning to Harbor because from there, I can probably get a load up to Iron Mine East. And then from there, I could even, if I do manage to get up there, I could even make a trip down to Coal Mine East so I can finally visit the last two places that could have a train. I did look at the interactive map that's up somewhere on the internets for this game, and I did have a look at the spawns. I didn't really pay enough attention to know where the ones outside of the towns are. So if you're thinking, oh, you cheated, you know where to look. Not really. I kept it on hint mode anyway, which is just, it gives you a circle. So like the harbor circle was like, you know, that or something. Doesn't tell you that there's a spawn there and a spawn there and a spawn wherever else. I don't know where. I know there's one there. Well, actually, I know of three. There's one there, because I've seen that elsewhere. There's one there, because that's where the S282 is, and then there's one down here-ish, because that's where my DH4 was. But I only know that there was a big circle there beyond that. Yeah, there are circles there. I don't remember seeing a circle on military base, because again, why would there be a train at the military base? It's locked behind a license. It doesn't make sense. And, not... I hate that aspect of it. Let me zoom in. Bottom three. They're not cheap licenses. 530,000 to get all the way to military 3. So yeah, I feel like this is the most logical one. I mean, if I want to go harbor, in theory, I could just go down this way. There are two going to C, and one going to G. How do I want to manage that? I've never actually been out this way. I know that it's not the nicest path, but like, weight-wise, this is not an issue. And I just completely bashed the microphone, and that's why I use a compressor, so that that doesn't sound as terrible as it could. Sorry about that. Didn't quite miss the microphone bringing my hand up. How do I want to do this? Like, obviously, I want to have these two grouped together. I think this should probably go on the end. It is the lightest load, after all. So this, that, and the other thing. And I know I can just back this straight in. Honestly, do I even bother with that? Only another 10,000 or so? Not that much. But, like, my point is more... It's time for a break, but... Yep. Jump. The other two loads are going here, but then there's the third one that I have to get over to here somehow. Is that really worth the effort? Like, I can do this. I just don't know that it's worth it. Oh well. You can go over there. Not bothering with those. I think I can make another bit of money doing that, but eh. I guess technically I could also do this, and if I go via the steel mill, which is a longer trip, I could pick up a fair amount more money. So that has me picking up from obnoxious locations. I don't know. I think just keeping it simple might be the best. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, time for the first break of the stream, and hey look, it's not the witness background. Yeah, I'm just going to take a few minutes to stand up, stretch, and get away from the computer for a little bit. During this time, I am going to run some ads. It's the only time during the stream I run ads. Prevents pre-rolls for next hour. But by running them now, because they'll be finished by the time I get back, it ensures that the gameplay itself is completely ad-free, which is the whole idea of running ads right now. No ads over the gameplay, just over these periods of the stream where you can just basically mute the tab and ignore it. Or, you know, if you're subscribed or have Twitch Turbo, you shouldn't see ads regardless. But you know how it goes. Anyway, when I get back, I'll figure out what we'll do, and we'll continue this night of celebrating-ish the fact that I've been an affiliate for the last 5 years. I don't know. Let me look at something real quick. I forgot to save. New save. Settings. Display. Frame limiter 5 FPS. I can speak. Let's see, if I go back to not quite the before times. 26 was a Thursday. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Derby. Alrighty, I am back, and, I mean, besides a reminder that, yeah, this is my 5-year affiliate anniversary. I've been streaming for much longer than that, but it was 5 years ago today that I finally made affiliate. Besides bringing that up again, let's just get back into it. Now I need to fight the frame limiter. I keep it limited to 70 because it doesn't need to go higher, and I just leave it on 70 to give a little bit of a buffer, plus at times it's sitting at 69 as a result, which is nice. Yeah, I think I'll do this, because this should be a drop-off, because you're loading, right? And so I can literally just set the switches at the steel mill and drop it and run. And that'll be an extra 12,000 plus time bonus, plus whatever that costs, plus time bonus, you know? It extends the trip a little bit, but seems worth it to me. Unfortunately, I'm kind of on the wrong switch here. So let's get this set up. Brakes are released, so wet. Oh yeah, I should probably set this to be higher. 105 seems good to me. Yeah. Get in the train. There we go. Now it's working. So looking in reverse. Oh, I think I get what that's for. Yeah, okay. That's what that's for. I don't know. I want that to do that. Hey, you can stop with the sander. You'll notice that switch is now set properly. Wipers. But we're just gonna go back this way. There we go. So what I want to do is I want to pull it around and park the train for the most part in the passenger siding, and then use this to load everything up, and then hook back up and leave this away. Yeah, it's a bit steeper right here. Relax. I will fight you. Might need to put that thing on a switch just so it doesn't intervene all the time. Yeah, we're good. I might put this on a switch just so I can shut it up easily, because I don't know that there's a toggle for the audio on it. Thanks, Shaw. Actually, I want that set that way. I can pull around. Can I get away without the wiper now? It's not raining anymore. See, this is what I mean. I've got everything within view now, and the digital readout on the speed just makes it that little bit easier to see it at a quick glance. Again, it's not that I can't read the dial, it's just that it's easier to read when it's like that. Yeah, that's always fun, isn't it? When you're watching something and... Wait, was that the video, or was that something in my room being noisy? Can't go too fast, obviously. Hold up. Get back in there. Feet out. Yeah, I'll stay left, and then... I'm gonna manually set this just because it comes up quick. I was considering parking over there, but now I'll just park in this bypass here. Yeah, see, that came up pretty quickly afterwards. Why weren't you helping that time, huh? Shut up. Alright. Now, we get to working with this. So, disconnect this. Probably should have turned that off. Whatever. E2S, A3S, and B3S. So 2S and 3S are both over here. No, 2S is here. Still 96. Okay, so these are both right here, which is wonderful. This is not so nicely placed. And since I don't feel like summoning the shunter, I think I see how I'm going to do this. That's the fuel cutoff. I hear a deer. At least I'm pretty sure it's a deer. I don't know what else it would be. that across. Here's a good use case for the digital speedometer, having it set up here so you can actually drive backwards, right? This is going to be kind of annoying to do, but doable. Yeah, the stream's a bit different from normal. Usually I have a load set up to go. This time it's first hour is customizing the train, second hour is getting ready to go, and then third hour is actually going to be doing the haul. At least that's the plan. Of course, I'm using the train that doesn't have any of the fancy toys in it, but the DE2 is a bit cheaper to run. Now what we're going to do is the annoying thing. I'm gonna pull this back there, park this over here somewhere, and then come back along this route, circle around, grab that, grab this one, and then go pick up the one in the next set. Rusty truck cab there. Alright, now this one's gonna be a fun start. Fun, but not impossible. That can just stay there for the moment. Like I said, because that's now blocking the way, we're going to come back here, circle around, and then pick those three carriages up and go get the one out of A3. Hold the brakes when you get going on a bit of a grade, just like you would in a car. Don't forget to flip that back, otherwise that could be troublesome. You know, actually, I might as well just go pick up A at this point. Like the one in A3. because those are right next to the loading dock, and the other one is in the loading dock. So, like, why bother? Right? Just loop around, go get that. Bring it into there, pick those two up, and then put them in the loading dock, and, Bob's your uncle. Of course, it's got to go into D2, because why wouldn't it? But that's fine. Either way, just bring it back around this curve now, and I'm gonna switch this switch back to ensure that I stay on the main track. Since, you know, I don't have the fancy toys in this one. I really need to finish the DE2 restoration and then switch this out for that. Like, I'm sorry, L10, but you are going to get retired at some point. I don't need your services indefinitely, not when I can own my own that isn't subject to the insurance fees. Oh, actually, I want that. That was already set. Slow it down, bring it in gently. Unset the parking brake. Just gotta clear this signal, no, that signal, switch, whatever. And then we can reverse forward and grab the other cars. Get it loaded up, bring it back around this way, and put it over there where it needs to go. Going to D20. I think that's the switch I want to flip. They're back to back, those switches, after all. Yeah. Go over there, connect to those, reverse it, and then back in there. Actually, no, I do want to keep it that way. It's fine. It sounds worse than it actually is. should probably put these on, or this on the remote, because that will just make my life that little bit easier. So I can, you know, come out here and get to managing it. Which makes it a lot easier to tell when it's cleared the switch. And this is that point where having the amp limiter would actually be really nice, because I could just kind of full throttle it, not literally, but, you know, put more throttle into it than just bit by bit and not have to worry about it burning itself out or spinning up the wheels necessarily. Still have to be a bit cautious with spinning the wheels. Hello. I couldn't have pushed this a little further along the track, could I? It's fine where it is. Maybe? It's probably in the siding sufficiently. Most of it's behind the sign. I don't think you have to be perfectly behind it, to be fair. Alright, now that that's all hooked up, I can go run over here. Plunk that in the machine. Where's the loading thing? All the way over here. Load. There you go. That would be why. Just looking at that would have told me that something's up with the pressures. Can you get towards zero? That's why. Okay. So this needs to go to D20, huh? Alright. That's set correctly, so just keep an eye on the speed and we'll be good. D20 is right here. Means you, and it's already thrown correctly. Can I has? Oh, but seriously, can I has, please? Since I can't bloody find the demo unit. Whoops. Over. There it is. Yeah, they literally put a hitbox around it, so you can't even, like, stand on it normally. So I can't drop down, and I can interact with it. Wait a minute. Does that mean... No, because I can't get inside to enable the electronics. Oh, well. Can interact with those trains, apparently, just can't do anything with them of use. How heavy is this? Don't know how I ended up here, but okay. How heavy? 224 tons. Just slowly but surely accelerate. Now, I know that a couple of the things were in D, so I hope that the other thing that I'm picking up is not that. Because that is also in D too. And I don't want to have to deal with that, because this is going on the back end of the train. Yes, I'm putting a heavy load right at the back of the train. Is that a good idea? Not really. Will it be fine? Probably. Of course, if I'd been paying attention earlier, I would know which ones I need to pick up. I'm pretty sure that's the big consist that I'm picking up. Logistical haul. But then I don't know if it's that, or that. That was the other one. And there was a third one over there, but I don't know that I'm going to do that. Especially with this. I might as well just stick to the other two in this one. Because this one I can just drop off on the way through Steel Mill, and then the other two are both going to the sea yard at Harbor. Yeah, we got plenty of room. Set you down for a moment so I can run over here and submit this. 5 minutes. Easy. 18 grand, just like that. What? Taking that, I'm taking that. And, oh, it's only 9,000. I mean, all said and done, it's gonna be, what, like 32,000? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's still worth doing. And, that's on D7. Okay. So I want to pick up this, and then this, and then this. That's these. You're at the back of the train, so I do need to disconnect you. Handbrake is already set. Slow moving, I know, but no need to go fast when I'm only moving this far. That's going to be this one first. Like I said, that's the main source of money on this trip. And it is just a logistical haul. We are going along this track and this track only. Always got to be careful of that. Sounds far more violent. Violent? Sorry, where am I from? Sounds far more violent than is ideal for these types of cars, but to be fair, they are empty. It's an oil tanker, but it's a logistical haul. They're empty. You can see that, there's nothing in them. It's having to work to build a brake pipe because this is a fairly big consist. Makes sense. It's not flashing at me, but it's still not topping off, which is interesting. So that's going to need to go over and collect that there. Nice lag. I'm going to want to take it back to here. I should be able to have this all loaded up and ready to go by the top of the hour. That's not a problem. DE2 might be struggling a bit, though, by the time that I've got this fully loaded up. To be fair, it's not as though it can't handle it. Where is it? 1,200 tons on level ground, which this is not. But it's level enough. That's a bit closer than I like it being, honestly, so I'll have to keep an eye on this. Hey, evil. Let's see, where you want to go. Where are you going? Are you going the correct way, or are you going to go off to the side? Here, I can just sit under here. This is totally safe to do, by the way. I'm kidding, of course. Never try this in reality. This is a good way to get yourself severely injured, if not killed if you're not careful. Don't fuck around with trains. Like, seriously, that could literally kill you. Right there, just... Yep. But it is going the right way. I figured it was probably fine, but better safe than sorry, right? You heard there were trains and stuff. Yep. It's trains. It's train night. It could have been Pokemon, but 5 years of being an affiliate. Woo. So, I want to play with my trains. You missed the first hour and a half, which was partially, well, getting that prepared for the last half an hour, but also my train, which is somewhere over there, is now semi-customized. Not super fancy, but it's got a bunch of new toys and shit in it. Honestly, I was really itching to play this last night. Like, I got all the stuff. I want to do something with it. But no. Nope. I might play this off stream, but I'm not doing that off stream. I'll do that on stream since it's the first time I've actually done anything with that stuff. Started this playthrough on stream. I'm going to do significant things like that on stream. Fair enough, Evil. You don't mind the shifting around like that. Things are weird. Handbrake here? Hell yeah! Also, while that's filling up, did I ever, like, look around back here? I doubt there would be any spawns around back here, but... never know. What out here? I've never actually been this way, right? Of course, I do this as it's getting dark out. I don't think there's anything in the water beyond me. I just... Hello? E6? No. Not here. Don't have a very good signal here. Alright. On MSC where there's probably something to kill you in the water. True. Although I don't think there's anything currently in that game that would kill you in the water, right? Right? See, this is what I was talking about before. Don't give Topless Gun any ideas. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of the same problem as GTA. You want to keep this off because it just makes it easier to, a little bit easier to see out. Being slow enough, you'd die from hunger or fatigue. Yeah. Well, that's just normal MSC things. Just double check, yes, and yes. Or we'll just shortcut through here, because why not? And so the other train that I want is right over here, so I need to wait for it to get... You know, I'm just going to kill the throttle. I got too much further to go anyway. Relatively speaking. Really? The hell was your problem? Shut up. It's illegal to have a dome light on at night in the car. Yeah, I don't know if... Seriously? I don't know if I was ever told it was illegal, but I definitely got told to not do it. Many a time. I don't know if my parents ever told me it was illegal, though. Just out of curiosity, how far around the turn are we? Yes, just about. I think I'm going to back up the DH4s and such to the consist rather than dragging this to them. You know? Might end up taking an early break since it looks like I'm going to wrap this up before it's time for the next break. That way we can just get to hauling sooner. I don't have to mess around and, you know, fill that little bit of time. Thud. Pressurize you up. Unset that handbrake. And then come all the way back around here. Set this handbrake temporarily. Set you to neutral. Cut you out. Allow that to restabilize. Then kill that. Then I can come around here. Get back into my train. With all the fancy gadgets and shit. A little bit of red lighting. Just a little bit. A nice big glare there for some reason. No, do you not have lights on the back of you? At least not headlights, that's a shame. Oh well. I guess I should figure out the consist length as well before I start my brake. So I can have that handy. Hey, where'd the remote go? I mean, dingle. Why the fuck can... Train! Please, work normally. Work properly. Evil. Trains do have headlights at the back so that they can be bi-directional. Not all trains. Some do. This one does. That's literally the back right there. Hello? Yeah, I couldn't see that. Oh, because it's hanging down, I guess. And I still can't see it. Where the hell is it? I don't know, but it won't let me interact with it now. Yeah, there's a handbrake set, I know. That off. Alright, so, let's see. I'm just gonna do this on my phone because that's the easiest way to do it, honestly. So DE2 is... have the normal lights. 7.6 meters. The DH4 is 13 meters times 2. Yeah, I want 0.6 on the first one, and then I'm not caring about it. D6 slug is near enough 17 meters. I'm subtracting out the 0.6. Hey, what do you know? My train by default is about 50 meters long. Oh, nice. So then we've got 247 meters. 126 meters. And 53 meters is 476 meters. Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's 500. So there you go. That's roughly how long my train is. And then I can press play, and it'll track how far I move, and it'll tell me when I pass a slow speed section. And now back to the mood lighting for night vision purposes. It's just kind of harsh. Not as bad with the brown paint, honestly, but kind of harsh in here. Versus this is just... it gives you light without making it obnoxious, you know? Which is why you use red lights at night. Funny thing, preparing for this actually reminded me, I have my old headlamp from when I was in the Boy Scouts over on this side of the other side of my room. Oh right, those probably still have batteries in them, don't they? Fortunately, only one had just started to leak a little, so... yep, dodged a bullet on that one. So, thank you, video game, for making me remember something IRL. Okay, it's only going to make a small difference at this point. Also, how are we doing on fuel? That's probably enough to get down to Harbor, especially since you're still good. I think we're good to go. It's just a matter of turning things in. You're good over there. I'm not taking any of that, including that logistical haul, because honestly, just can't be bothered. There's an actual train going by right now. Unfortunately, no, that was earlier in the day, and it did rain. Fortunately, we are looking good weather-wise, so let's get back to the train and call it an hour for now. You save, settings, frame limiter, down to 5 FPS to reduce GPU load during the break. And I love how this keeps selecting the same AFK screen back to back. Anyway, yeah, the bot hasn't sent a notice for it yet, but I'm ready to go, so let's just take the break now, a couple minutes early, and then when I get back, we can get going. I should probably set switches as well, but I can do that on the way. So, yeah, I'm just going to take a few minutes to stand up, stretch, and get away from the computer for a little bit. During this time, I am going to run some ads. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads, besides the very beginning and end of the stream. By doing so now, it prevents pre-rolls for next hour, and ensures that the gameplay itself is completely ad-free, because these ads will be over before I get back. So, some ads while I'm not here versus potential ads while I am here. You know, there's going to be ads no matter what, and I know some people would rather just have pre-rolls immediately. There's the bot. But I've been doing this for a few years now, and it works. It's not great, but it could be worse, right? At least I'm not setting it up so that ads run automatically on a timer with very little prompting for you guys, you know? I ain't doing that. I don't like that. Nobody likes that. You run your channel like that? Fair enough, but it ain't for me. Anyway, yeah. BRB. Alrighty, I am back. Let's get started with this final hour of the perfectly normal 5-year affiliate anniversary celebration stream. I mean, it is perfectly normal. By the way, did you notice I finally have the 5-year sub badge on my account, my username? I have the badge because I'm the only one that has the badge that doesn't use the founder badge, because I don't get the founder badge on my own channel. In some ways, it's kind of like, why not? But also at the same time, why would I have it? But, whatever. So yeah, it's nothing too special. It's basically just the same as last year, except it's a 5 instead of a 4. Anyway, let's get back to the gameplay. I need to lower my volume. So difficult to get it to set correctly sometimes. We are going to come here and let's see, switch those around. Yeah, so this is going to A6I. Really? Honestly, I'm tempted to just drop this here and say fuck that. You want to go on to the A track? If you don't know why I'm not happy about that, A6I is right here. It's on the back end of the train. How the hell am I supposed to get it out to there? Like, there are ways to do it, yes. Is it worth my time? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I should have paid more attention to that. Get left behind. Ain't doing that. That is not worth it. Of course, now I'm taking an unoptimal route, because I could be going out this way and, you know, coming straight down, but now I'm going to be hooking around. There's no easy way to fix that, honestly. There is a way, it's just... I'll stick to going this way, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, this is a very high-speed stretch as well. And you can carry some speed through to here is on top of that. And then this is all downhill, so just test the brakes, I guess. Yeah, evil. Oh, that's annoying. Alright, so when we get to the harbor, we go left, we go left, we go left. And then it's honestly fine. I'm going to check E-yard just to make sure that's straight through. I don't need to worry about back there. That's not the right thing. Let me out of there. So yeah, that's going to C2I. Going to be a hell of a lot easier to hook up. Or drop off, I guess. So, right, left, straight in, and then the other one I have to finagle into storage. The other thing I have to do, and no, I didn't forget about this, is subtract about 50 meters out of that. 53, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. What's the total load? 119, 323. Make sure you're paired with the correct locomotive. Set you forward. Unset the parking brake.
And we're off. Yeah. You're talking that one. Kill those. Set it like that. And again, rather than having that, I can just have this. Getting going just after midnight. Probably put a bit more throttle into it at this point. Yep, you're fine. Now while this slowly gets up to speed, I'm just going to make sure that signal is set properly. And, oh. Fuck that. I got 18 grand out of it at least, so it's not like it was a complete waste of time. Just 8 yard? Really? How about no? Gonna wait a second since I'm going the long way, technically. Don't need to activate these immediately. Yep, that's where I wanted to be. Yeah, and that's the other load that I could have picked up. But, like, just no. Just no. Ain't worth it. Guess I can scoot over to the side there and get the switch setter fully in view as well. And then if I get to a slow part that I want to keep track of, just look up and grab that. I think the only other thing I really would want to do to this train at this point is just add some more lights on the front. For better visibility. If I was smart, I actually would have set up a point coming out of that curve. But we should be out of that. The one at the back end of the yard, that is. Seven currently. We don't have to worry too much about the speed, but the switch up ahead is a 5 or a 6, I think. Well, not the heaviest load I've taken by far. It's also not the lightest either, so I do have to keep an eye on the speed a little bit. Kind of annoying how the clinometer just kind of varies so much with the shaking of the train, but that's kind of to be expected, I guess is a good thing, because it's actually simulating the angle that the train is at. Although you can make an argument that because I didn't mount it in the correct direction, it should be inaccurate regardless. Yep. I didn't set those right, did I? I meant to do that, but I forgot. Yeah, it's 50. We're fine, just slow down faster, please. Let's see. That was there. We want to go left. 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 Right. Left. And yeah, we're good then. You can see that's filling up gradually. Put the speed back into it. Because I know that by the time that sets off, we'll be good to go. Yeah, whatever. It shouldn't overheat at this throttle setting, and even if it does, I have the overheat protection system in place now, so it'll manage the throttle as need be. $10 and increasing still. That's one thing that I'm not entirely sure I did. Let's check the steel mill all the way through. So that's going to the right. And then that's to the right, that's to the left. Okay. Put it back to harbor, and we'll go from there. 12 and decreasing. Gee, I never would have guessed. How's fuel doing? It's getting low. Honestly, I'll probably just flip the switch on this on the way through the steel mill. Simply because that's going to be a climb out the other side, right? And I want to make sure that I don't use too much fuel. And yeah, that's what that buzzer was for, because it's thirsty train, that's for sure. Apparently it's better than it used to be. Granted, having it at full throttle the entire time is not going to help anything. I wanted to get some speed up. A little bit foggy at the moment. You know, it would be fun. Set up the train with some lights off the side for train spotting off the side of the tracks. One way to do it, I guess. Just have spotlights off to the side so you can more easily see out there at night. Might as well start you up and get you involved. Yep, that's correct. I do in fact want to go right up here, because otherwise I'm going back towards the A yard and the other stuff. Which I do not really want to do. Right, and then left. Wonder what's back there. Hard to see. With all the shit in the way. Something yellow back there. Frame rate's dying a little bit. Yeah. And we're going left out of here, which is good because we don't want to go to the farm. I need to worry about tracking where we are relative to the speed increase because I don't think we're going to maintain this speed for too long. Okay. I've got it set to full throttle, so you can see the heat's climbing up there towards bottom left. But in a moment, it's going to hit 105 and cut the throttle. It's just barely starting to overheat significantly before anything happens. Which honestly, I can probably just reduce throttle and keep it from doing that in general at this point. Especially because we're going through a 50 now. Still uphill. Still 50, but now it's going to go downhill. What are we doing on fuel? Alright. Not great, not terrible. And we do indeed want to go left. Just tell me when the back end is past that switch, if you would. Now we can pick the speed back up. And that right there is exactly why I wanted that. Like, I could do without most of the things in the train right now. I want that. Distance tracker, very useful. Not a necessity. Just helpful to have. Overheating? Really? Why are you at full throttle? I didn't have you set to full throttle. I took you down one notch. Stop! Up overriding my inputs. Yeah, how often do you actually see me doing 70 on this map? In this game? Although, how's the fuel? Getting down there. Eighth of a tank. Okay, well, that's going to help with fuel consumption a little bit. Nice. Back up to 8. I think we'll just coast for a little bit. Got a fair amount of speed up. Just let it coast, save some fuel. Especially because, you know, that. And also it goes back down to a 70 through here, so yeah. That really a 70 through there? Kinda seemed closer to a 60, honestly. With how it was rubbing. But okay. You say so. Oops. That one. Yeah, as soon as we get to the switch, the other side of it, scrub all the speed off. Gonna have to drop down pretty slowly. Right here? Could be. There it is. Took a second, it's set to 300, and supposedly that sign was 0.3, so... I don't know why it didn't activate immediately, but it didn't. 6 into 7, but it's on a decline. Again, doesn't hurt to slow down now because I'm gonna need to be slowing down soon anyway. But the fact that I can just use dynamic brake to manage it for now, very nice. And from now until the harbor, this is basically the fastest we're gonna go. Because there's a lot of 40 sections through here, through this area. It does pick up at points, obviously. It's leveled out, see if I can get away with not having much, if any, braking in effect. There's the train, by the way, going into the tunnel. Correctly. Yes. Increasing up to a 50 or decreasing? I think it's decreasing. Either way. Have to be a bit mindful of that as we approach 4 a.m. in the morning. Because, you know, redundancy in that statement is a good thing to have, I guess. I don't know. 4 in the morning. In game.
bumped up to 6, but it's going to be dropping down to at least 40, so I might as well start slowing down. Once it's dropped down, I can back off of it a bit so that it's not slowing down too much. Yeah, see, this is where more lights would be helpful because it's just this circle. You know, I can't see out over here very well. I can't see out over there very well. So having a bit more light to really show what's around would definitely be a nice thing to have. Primarily for the corners. And then there's Dingle, who runs like this. Which is also a way to do it. I like being able to see what I'm doing, though. Please slow back down. I don't know where the back end of my train is. Okay, I'm guessing that those readings on the signs are wrong then, because that one was 0.2 and the thing activated immediately. Wing fans kicked in. We're right about at the speed limit, so it's fine. At some point, I may or may not have to switch to mechanical brakes, but this might be late enough to get away with just dynamic. We'll see. Alright. Can't see shit. Granted, with how foggy it is, the lower beams aren't necessarily the worst thing. Actually, it makes me wonder if mounting a couple of extra lights, like really low down, if you can do that, would be useful when it's foggy. Alright, looks like we're getting through this just fine on the dynamic brake. Which again is to be expected. We're only hauling so much weight. Which is set to the left, which is where I want it. Through the curve here. I can start backing off of it a little bit because we're on the level now. By the way, how's our fuel? It hasn't moved much. Go figure, it's almost like the back half of this trip is all downhill. And we are going to want to go left here because I want to back in. So, yeah, I want to overshoot and then back in. By the way, where's the back of the train? It's off of the hill, that's for sure.
Definitely want to leave dynamic brake off. Just gonna ride along with this for a little bit, double check, make sure that all of these switches are set correctly and that it's going straight through that yard. Which it looks like it is, and then I'll come back here and park up there, wait for the end of the train to come past. And yeah, that looks like right and then left. I am out and about, mind you. I'm just getting pushed along by some unknown force. And, oh. Kinda neat for a shot. You know, like, looking at it, but... Also, there's the S282. Yes, this is where I want to be. Yeah, signal inputs are not the best all the way out here, you can see. Let's not get the sand activated, you know? And yeah, we'll have this done with plenty of time to spare. 80 minutes, even with the stop at the steel mill. If it had been a pull-through, it would have been fine. But it wasn't a pull-through, so screw that. Just to reiterate, this is going to C2I, which is the middle track, and yep, right and then left. And C1S does, of course, have some stuff on it, but it's towards the back end of the siding, it looks like. I'll still probably have to push it out of the way. I don't need to put it too far back in the siding. Also, I'm not going to rush to deposit this, because I don't think it makes a difference how quick I do it, right? It's just a matter of getting it in before the time limit expires. And I'm well within the 80 minutes. So, might as well just park both of them and only make one trip over. That's one way to do it. And then, yeah, let's bring you out over to here. So you are going into C1S, which is that track. All the way over here. Since it can apparently take 3 in the dry without any issue with this load. As well, just get it rolling that much faster, right? Bunch of flat cars just sitting here at the back of the siding. Not even fully in the back. Also, I slowed down a bit more than I needed to, but better safe than sorry, right? Now, how far out of the siding is that? Very. And I'm not going to do the silly thing and just push them uncoupled or anything, so... Connect it in. Now the next question, LH26. LH26. Good. That was a post. Vent post. Pole. Something like that. Push it the rest of the way into the siding. Then once it's past that sign, you'd hear the switch from there. Switch setter. Disconnect that. Cut that. And then, because I'll do it properly, cut that. And there. And then realistically I should go through and, you know, pull all these. Well, should I? I don't know. It doesn't really make a difference in the grand scheme of things. Also, this car is backwards. Not like the air isn't just gonna leak out over time anyway. Handbrake set, so what does it matter? I should also do that on the other thing if I'm gonna do it here, but I'm not. And we're well within the siding. Alright. Let's just go hand these in. Fence. Over the other fence, and a third into the station building. 51,000 from that. And 12,000 from that. Oh boy, lots of rain today. Alright, well, we still got 20 minutes, but there's not much more to do, so let's go get the train refueled, I guess. Can go without that at the moment. I'm gonna set this back to 50 because that's the default length of this little consist of trains that I've got. Got plenty of fuel. This thing mostly did its job. Kind of being a nuisance at times. This one didn't really intervene at all. That was helpful a couple of times. I mean, yeah, that's... I don't care about setting that switch at the moment. Just gonna wait to get past this switch. We could give it a little bit more. Just a little bit. Let it go past, and then reverse her back into the roundhouse. I can be put down when I get out of the train, not just dragged along mysteriously. Great. I want to be right here. Yeah, let's not go any faster around the curve that has a 20km/h speed limit. That'd only be a rather silly idea to go faster, you know? I know, go faster. I know. Not in this instant. Everything's set up properly because why wouldn't it be? That's just how I left it. Ding, ding. Ding. Perfect. Hop in. Set the handbrake. Turn you off. Anyway. I mean, I could afford it. Where's the wallet? There you go. I could easily afford it. Even after this service. Set that up. So that's you. All of this. I should be able to switch to that. Yeah, fair amount of oil. No surprise there. And then diesel is, very yes. Yeah. Not cheap. Already serviced that one is why. Okay, that makes sense. They all need a little bit of sand because of the anti-wheel slip kicking in. There we go. All said and done, just under 30,000. Not great. Not terrible, though. It ain't cheap to operate two DH4s. You know? Plus I got the DE2 and the Slug on top of that. Not the cheapest thing in the world. Let's see. What do I got? 372,000. What other fees do we have? Yeah, there's this C976. I don't know what that is about. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. How the fuck did I damage a tender on an S282? That's bullshit, game. That is complete bullshit.
I haven't used one of these. I haven't been near one of these. How have I damaged it? Fuck you, I ain't paying that. Alright, look, I'll pay everything else. I ain't paying that. Fuck off. That's what was in the mountains? It was L25, but maybe it was the tender for it. That is really stupid. Those two have a bit of wear on them or something. Well, my fee tolerance is 82,000. So, whatever. Any licenses I should buy? I mean, I could get the S060, not that I'm going up to the iron mine anytime soon. DM3 is at the oil refinery. My screen is flickering, probably because it's not happy about frame rates. D6 is 200,000. I could buy it. Honestly, I should buy Hazmat 1. Hazmat 2 would also go well with it. But I kind of want to keep 200,000 around just in case I do find the DE6. Not gonna bother with military at the moment. What do we got here? Yeah, don't care. Bone mill, not terrible. Steel mill, or steel mill. Machine factory. Make some really good money to machine factory. I need Hazmat 2 for it though. More goods factory. A lot going to food factory. Some hazmat stuff. Let's go into the farm, which also good money. That's sawmill. That's an unload. That's an unload. Unload. This is also food factory. And then that's going to City South. Yeah. I mean, some of these are not going to be cheap. I don't really care about that. Some of these are not going to be cheap to get working. But theoretically, that's a decent amount of money. That just is. And again, I can afford a hazmat license. That's not the issue. This is a little reminder, hazmat 2. In fact, what I should do is put that right there. That's a ton of money. Ammonium nitrate and diesel. Yeah, that's one spicy mixture you could get there. I didn't mean to open the Notes app, and there it goes crashing. I don't understand why, but the Notes app on my phone just crashes as of late. I mean, it stopped crashing when I cleared out all my stored notes, but then when it synced them, it started crashing again. They load fine on my iPad, which is on an even older version of iOS. The fuck? Doesn't make any sense. And why did it just start out of the blue? The other question. So let's see. 27 plus 14 near enough. Plus 46 times 1.5. Assuming I can get the time bonus on all of them, which is over 2 hours. Easy. 110,000 to Machine Factory. Not bad. This flickering. Doesn't help in the menu because it's the menu. Okay, that helped a little. Still flickering, but less. The problem with VRR, if it's not nice and stable, it can get very unhappy and flickery. At least with FreeSync. It's not officially G-Sync compatible, this monitor, but it is G-Sync compatible. But it's a FreeSync implementation. Let's see. 5 plus 25 plus... I'll just count that as 20. Plus 9 plus 14 plus 11, let's say, times 1.5. 126. Less time for... Now here's the other question. Can I actually haul all of this? That's a yes. Again, licenses aside. In terms of weight, that's fine. Oh yeah, actually, that's just shunting. That's just gonna be a logistical haul by the looks of it, because they're... No, it's load. But that's gonna be even more money. But it's also gonna be heavier. Possibly. No, it should show the weight by default, right? Oh, fuck off. 180 tons, 102 tons, 187, 60, 133, 153. Yeah, they're all relatively light. Assuming that that one's accurate. Versus, yeah, you guys can go over here. These two are right next to each other. This is the odd one out. What would be the best way to get to Food Factory from here? Would it be to cut through Goods Factory? Like hell, I could actually come out this way. It's still steep, obviously. You're always going to have a climb out of harbor. Come up this way, go along this track. Now I feel like you're better off going through Goods Factory, even though it's limited to 30, because otherwise you have to go up here and around this turn. Now this flickering is obnoxious. What the hell? Yeah, let's go to 30. Nope. Oh, VSync. There, now it's not flickering. Which shouldn't realistically matter, but it does. So I can earn marginally more. Well, marginally, I don't know how much I'll actually earn. But I'll earn more for doing all of these versus this. Well, what's the weight? What's the exact weight? Assuming that that's the correct weight for what that's going to be in the end. 635 down there, which is nothing. And then 240, 77, 378 is 700. So they're both easily doable. I'm not doing these tonight. It's just a matter of like which do I want to set up. Now in this case I need to pick up Hazmat 1. This one I need to pick up Hazmat 2. Also, where are all these going? That one I don't know. D3S, A1S, ugh. C6I, C4I, C4I. So those are literally just pair them together and cut them off in that siding. These other two here are a bit annoying. I mean, the logistical hulls, they're always going to be annoying. Decisions. Decisions. Also, fuck you, I'm not paying for that bullshit. Eventually gotta see if there's a way to remove that, because, like, that's gotta be related to that bugginess from the other night. But, like, why did it happen in the first place? Also, the flickering is back, so, yeah, VSync doesn't actually help. It helped for a minute, but it doesn't truly help. Yeah, that's nonsensical. Look, game. You can't pin it on me if you've spawned things in the wrong fucking way and it causes shit to freak out. Don't pin that on me. It wasn't my fault. You can go back and watch the footage. I did not come in contact with an S282 at any point. Like, I saw that on Wednesday, and I just decided to ignore it. Like, that doesn't make any sense, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. But printing it out and finding out it's the S282's full wagon thing. Fender. Like, what? I don't even have the license for that vehicle. What do you mean? Anyway. Yeah. Next stream. I still didn't set up the schedule for it. That's wrong. Add 30 minutes, and the game is GTA and not Assetto. I say add 30 minutes. It's whenever the fuck EJ decides to go live for it, more or less. But the intended start time is 10, and I advertised it as such, so don't expect anything to happen before 10 unless, like, Callie or Predominant want to launch something ahead of time. I'm not doing shit until after 10 because I want to give people the chance to actually show up. And if they're expecting 10, you know, they might not be able to make it sooner. So, yeah, you know how EJ is. He's on his own time, so he'll be there. He will be joining us on Friday, and that's why we're doing GTA on Friday. We're taking a week off of Assetto. And Dingle, no, you have the flare gun and snowballs. You don't need anything more than that. You have zero need for guns outside of specific game modes, which is pretty much just the RPG, and that game mode doesn't even work. Might I remind you? Predominant says we don't need guns. Predominant says we don't need guns on the server. If Predominant is saying we don't need guns, then you know we don't need guns. Also, he's the one who programmed it so that guns don't get dropped from NPCs and you can't get them out of cars and such. I mean, Dingle, if anything, I'd just disable plane spawning. Because honestly, you don't really need access to planes and helicopters and boats. So, flare gun isn't really needed either. No, snowballs is just because, like, why not? They're more or less harmless. Flare guns are mostly useful for hunt the streamer, which is why I have them enabled. But they're not harmless. But anyway, so there's that on Friday, and then also GTA on Saturday as well. Probably. Again, the last time we did this, people wanted to race on Saturday, and we did. Dingle obviously was asking if we could do something else instead. But again, bring it up on Friday and see what people say, and then we'll talk. Otherwise, 10 p.m. Eastern Friday or Saturday night and Friday night, GTA racing on 5M. I can only tell you what I know for the moment, and as far as I'm aware, we're not doing anything else other than that. Yeah. Thank you everybody who turned up for tonight, whether you're still here or not. Appreciate it. Again, it's been 5 years of being an affiliate. It has not been the best 5 years. In fact, the last couple of years have been rather rough, and I apologize for being incompetent, seemingly, and being unable to support myself otherwise, but at the same time, I appreciate everyone's willingness to stick around and at least watch at the very least. Here's to another 5 years. I mean, I'm not going to be doing this full time unless something suddenly changes, but considering I refuse to work with the algorithms because fuck you, I do things my own way, which doesn't help. I recognize that, but I don't care. I don't want to play to the algorithm's liking, you know? I do things my way. So, yeah, at this point at least, I wouldn't mind doing this for another 5 years plus, but we'll see how time changes. How the times change and how time changes things. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Yeah, Dingle, but also, it's already annoying enough when people end up getting killed, especially since we have that respawn bug. Yes, we have a script now to fix that, but people are still going to be permadead after we get out of a race. And even after looking at the code, I don't understand why that happens. So, yeah. I mean, the simplest thing is just to track when somebody dies and just auto-respawn them. Which, honestly, I don't know why Predominant didn't just set that up as works. But anyway, I have to have a chat with him about that. But that's for another time. Yeah, I mean, at some point, will we have guns on the server for like, short periods of time? Maybe, but right now, you don't fucking need it. It just causes more chaos, and there's already too much chaos at times, and it's only going to be worse this Friday because of everybody else that's going to be joining us. Anyway, I want to wrap up the stream. It's 5 after. So yeah, stream on Friday, stream on Saturday, both probably GTA racing. Definitely Friday. We'll see what happens with Saturday. Sure, Dingle. If you want to watch some ads, stick around. Unless you're a sub, in which case you shouldn't see ads, or a turbo subscriber. Yeah. There's going to be ads. So if you're not a sub of either variety, then you won't see them. But in that case, you should stick around anyway, because it gives me money for free. Well, no extra cost to you other than just leaving the tab open for a few minutes extra, you know? There's also that. Anyway, yeah, stick around for the ads or don't. Do as you wish. That's going to do it for me tonight. thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Later.